Good morning. Today's experiment is to determine the amount of total chlorine residual by iodometric titration in a given water sample. Solutions required: standard N by 80 K2Cr2O7 sodium thiosulfate solution, glacial acetic acid, potassium iodide which is 10%, and starch as indicator. Now regarding the theory of this process, actually chlorination of the water is done to kill the harmful bacteria. When chlorine is added to water for disinfection purpose, HOCl and HCl are formed. This HOCl is responsible for killing the bacteria. HOCl combines with the bacteria and kills them. Now the chlorine, sufficient amount of chlorine is added to the water for chlorination. So after the consumption of chlorine for this disinfection, some amount of chlorine is left into the water. That chlorine is called the residual chlorine. So here we are going to determine the amount of chlorine which is left into the water after the disinfection. So when chlorine water is taken and freshly prepared potassium iodide solution is added into it, chlorine oxidizes this potassium iodide at pH approximately 3 to 4 and liberates free iodine. And this iodine is titrated against sodium thiosulfate, which gets converted into sodium tetrathionate and sodium iodide, as you have written in the previous experiment, determination of dissolved oxygen. So here we also determine the amount of iodine liberated in place of chlorine. The amount of iodine which will be determined by this titration will be equivalent to the amount of residual chlorine. Regarding the procedure, again the first step will be the standardization of sodium thiosulfate. This will be carried out in the same manner as you have done in the previous experiment, that is the determination of dissolved oxygen. You must be remembering that for this experiment, for this determination, you have transferred 10 ml of standard potassium dichromate solution N by 80 into the conical flask, and then you have added few drops of sulfuric acid, then 5 ml of potassium iodide solution, and then it was titrated against the sodium thiosulfate using starch as indicator. You all must be remembering this. So in the same manner we will be proceeding for the standardization of sodium thiosulfate. Now the second step is to find out the residual chlorine. Now transfer 50 ml of the given water sample into a washed, specially designed conical flask with the help of a pipette of 50 ml capacity. Now add 10 ml of potassium iodide solution into it. Followed by adding 2 ml of glacial acetic acid to maintain the pH between 3 to 4. Now cover the conical flask and keep it undisturbed for few minutes so that the sufficient iodine may be liberated from potassium iodide. Now remove the stopper and wash the walls of the conical flask with the help of distilled water, minimum quantity, to take the whole iodine liberated, which may remain stick on the walls of the conical flask. Now titrate it against sodium thiosulfate using 2 ml of starch indicator. Now you will see that a blue-black color has been developed into the solution. Now run down sodium thiosulfate from the burette till the disappearance of blue color. Now you can see that the blue color has been disappeared. This marks the end point of the titration. Note down the volume of sodium thiosulfate consumed and repeat the same titration to obtain a concordant reading. Now by these readings we will make our calculation. So regarding the calculation, let us assume that the volume of sodium thiosulfate consumed for the two titrations, that is standardization of sodium thiosulfate, and the second one is determination of chlorine, are number 1 for standardization equals to VML, and for the titration of the water sample for residual chlorine, the volume of concordant volume of sodium thiosulfate consumed equals to V1 ml. We will make our calculation for the standardization of sodium thiosulfate in the same manner as we have done in the determination of dissolved oxygen. N1 V1 equals to N2 V2. For potassium dichromate, it is 1 by 80. 10 ml we have transferred. N2 unknown. V is the volume of sodium thiosulfate consumed for this titration. So N2 will be equal to 1 upon 8V, as we have calculated in the previous experiment. Now we can find out the amount of residual chlorine by using again this relationship, volume of sodium thiosulfate consumed multiplied by the normality of sodium thiosulfate multiplied by the equivalent weight of chlorine, then multiplied by 1000 divided by the volume of the water sample taken, which is 50 ml. So this will be equal to V1 into 1 upon 8V. 35.5 is the equivalent weight of chlorine multiplied by 1000 divided by 50. This may be X, ppm or milligrams per liter. So this experiment will be, you will do in the same manner as you have performed for the determination of dissolved oxygen. Thank you.